How's your understanding of how the instruments work? The altimeter and airspeed indicator.
What do you mean?
Their function, how they function, the internal components, how they are able to generate an indication for us.
So the airspeed and altitude, they're part of the all the plumbing of the static and pitot system. The attitude indicator on this plane is electric, I assume, because there is no vacuum. The altitude itself is solely based on the static port on the left-hand side of the plane, on both sides of the plane.
Two statics, yep. And then we have an alternate static right over here.
And the alternate static is here. And this is done calculating both ram air pressure into pitot and subtracting the static pressure from
Good. So what types of pressure, what type of pressure or types of pressure enter the pitot tube?
Total pressure.
Which is made up of?
Dynamic pressure and static pressure.
Perfect. But we don't care about the static pressure.
So we want to throw it away. So.
And the way we cancel it out is by introducing static pressure to the outer casing to press against it. So we have ram plus dynamic plus static battling it out with static. And we're left with dynamic. That's our net. And that shows us our airspeed. Perfect.
Okay.
Good. And then here with the altimeter, we have what two types of pressures battling it out? Pressing against each other. Inside the case, inside the anoid wafers, we have
the static pressure on one side.
Good. Static pressure is the outer casing, and inside we have 2992 inches of mercury worth of pressure, which is basically standard sea level.
Yep.
That's what it's predicated off of, the pressure altimeter, and then we have current static battling it out with the 2992 inches of mercury.
Oh, inside the wafer is...
Correct.
It's the standard pressure, always.
It's the sea level standard.
Yep.
Correct. And it's trapped. It's always that way.
Always. 657,
So,
Torrance South, Roger, number 3, probably 10, 15 minutes.
Roger, 657. And the, so let's think about it with the altimeter. We have trapped 2992 inches of mercury.
Forever.
Forever. It's always trapped. It can't, nothing changes in there. And then we have on the outside of it, current static. So here's how an indication is generated. As we take off and climb up into the atmosphere and climb up in altitude, what happens to our static pressure around us?
It decreases.
Decreases. So that given 2992 inches of mercury,
will expand.
It will expand, and as that expands, it generates an increased indication on the altimeter face. As we descend from altitude down to a lower altitude or higher pressure, the static outside of it presses it down, and as that anoid wafers decrease, it shows a decrease of an indication on the face.
So basically it's a pressure altitude.
100%. And that's why we call it a pressure altimeter. That's also why I tell people that the only thing in the airplane that knows how high the airplane is above the ocean, sea level, is the pilot. The altimeter has no clue where sea level is. All the altimeter knows to do is show you a height above or below
the standard,
above or below a given pressure. It would be above the standard datum plane
if you put
if we had no Colesman window. Because we have a Colesman window, we're able to tell it, I don't care about 2992, because 2992 most days isn't even found at sea level. So that doesn't do me any good. So if I want my altimeter to show me height above sea level, I better tell it what pressure is currently found at sea level.
Pull up, hold short, runway 11 left.
Pull up and hold short, runway 11 left.
Pull up and hold short, 11.